Hi, welcome Jump Cut. I just stuttered on that because
my God.
I came up with the name 2 hours ago. This is a show talking about comic books, video games, movies, and all things geek. As you see, we have Funko Pops, thanks to Nigel over here.
Of course.
I'm your host, Stephen May, and here's Nigel also, hosting the show.
How are you guys,
And
fellow geeks?
We have good stuff planned today, and I brought my Freddy Krueger shirt for no reason, but I thought it works after the fact, so. I'm a horror geek, so it works out.
I see that. I'm more like the movies and like superhero stuff. Like that's my thing.
Yeah, and I didn't bring my box over here, sadly, but
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
all right,
Let's get into it.
cool. All right, so what are you talking about first, Nigel?
Let's start with the all things Spider-Man thing that we were going to talk about.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I just wanted to note is that if you think Tobey Maguire is objectively the best Spider-Man, you're wrong, and you are blinded by nostalgia.
Yeah, I don't think Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man either.
If you're watching,
Who's your favorite though?
all right, so I think Tom Holland's the best all around.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield was my favorite as like Spider-Man.
Okay.
Because Andrew Garfield, I don't know, I just liked kind of his style and I liked the costume design and everything. I think that Tobey Maguire is just like, he wasn't that great of a Peter Parker. He wasn't brilliant. Like he shot the webs out of his wrist. He didn't have the actual web shooters that he built. And then you have when I'm just sitting there, when I'm watching Tobey Maguire on set, it didn't feel right to me.
So your
Sam
top
Raimi,
three?
yeah,
Your top three would be
out of everyone.
Tom Holland, Andrew
Garfield, Maguire.
Okay.
And it's not really just because of the fact that like I think that Maguire's just bad, but I think that Raimi had a fetish for screaming women and the shows. Mm-hmm. Like every one of the 3 Spider-Man movies, I'm just like, can you shut up already? I was watching Spider-Man 2, just trying to like to bank in on the nostalgia. Sorry, I'm just checking. To bank in on the nostalgia, and it's just like, oh my god, please just stop screaming and go back to the movie. I get it's like cheesiness, but
no, my favorite Spider-Man is actually the cartoon Spider-Man.
yes,
that's my favorite.
Which cartoon though?
Not the one from the 80s, but one from the 90s.
Yeah, with the really cool art style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the one from the 60s either, because that was like really weird.
That was Spectacular, I think.
No.
That wasn't Spectacular. It wasn't Superior.
It was just Spider-Man.
Just Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was just Spider-Man. Because Amazing and Spectacular came in the early 2000s.
No, I'm thinking about the one in the late 90s.
The late 90s was, that was Spectacular.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's so many shows, and they all use, like, S adjectives.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, 2018, for Spider-Man, it was amazing.
Amazing.
All right.
We had the Spider-Man video game that came out.
Yeah, if you guys watched Keeping It Real with Chrissy, you know how much I love that game.
How did you feel about playing that game? Like, was that your first Spider-Man game that you played, or?
No. I have an affinity to superhero games. I remember one of my favorite superhero games of all time is actually the original Marvel Avengers from Lego. Okay. That game is awesome. The new ones didn't really capture that magic, but but with Spider-Man, I'm playing it. I remember the first one I played was Web of Shadows. Okay. That game was an okay game, but the best thing about it is how you could change your suit instantly. Right. And when I played games at that young age before like multiplayer and everything, I was always role playing as a character, so I needed to feel like I was playing the character. And by me going between the good and bad, I felt cool doing that. And then Amazing Spider-Man, I remember playing Spider-Man 2. That was pretty good. I thought it was pretty lackluster aside from the swinging. Okay. I think that I played Amazing Spider-Man 1, which I loved. I thought it was like a really...
That was the one that was on PS4, right?
No, Amazing Spider-Man was on 360, PS3, and I think got ported later on. Okay. But it got taken off the Steam Marketplace. But I was playing that game, and I just remember it was like Batman, but as Spider-Man. It felt like the Arkham games.
See, I never played like a whole bunch of Spider-Man video games. Like, I played the early ones, like in the 90s, and then I played one, I think it was either Spider-Man 1 or 2 on GameCube. Okay. And then I come to this. Yeah. So this is like worlds apart from like all the... Yeah. Oh my God, because I heard all the Spider-Man video games sucked.
Yeah, no, they didn't all suck. It's just you have to have like...
I heard Web of Shadows sucked.
You have to have a threshold for what you
I heard Friend of Foe sucked.
Yeah. No, Shattered Dimensions, the only thing I really liked about that is it had Deadpool in it. Okay. But no, I think that Spider-Man PS4, what's so great about it is it does so many things right because it's a passion project, right? Of course, yeah. And as was what we're about to talk about next. But Spider-Man on the PS4, what was so great is that It is the best Spider-Man story, like on any, like out of the movies, the games, everything. Peter Parker was played phenomenally. I was equally glued to Peter Parker's story as I was the Spider-Man story. I thought that the great shifting characters was really good in the antagonists.
Oh my God!
I think going
just watching that.
I don't want to spoil too much, but once you finish, there is a point where you finish up with the main protagonist, and then you transfer over to, or the main antagonist, and you transfer over to a bunch of other ones. And wow, it was brilliant. When I was playing through that, I just remember that I was mentioning on Christy's show like in the past hour that I'm a really busy person. I barely have time to myself even to think, and when I'm home, it's usually I'm trying to work on music or I'm sleeping. But that's the first game where I just stayed home all weekend doing nothing but playing. I haven't done that since I was a child, since Modern Warfare 2 days.
Oh wow! So I was just sitting there playing the game like, yo, Doc Ock. Nah, I can't. Like every person like that I knew was like somebody that was like evil. I was like, when are they gonna turn evil? And when am I about to fight?
And there's one that didn't happen. I think it was Yuri. Yuri didn't turn evil in the game.
She did in the DLC.
I didn't play the DLC.
I gave it away.
Yeah, I gotta play the DLC.
We should call this no spoilers.
All right, we're done. From now on, we're done spoiling. All right, deal with that.
Deal.
Awesome. Back to the jump cut. Woo! The engineer really didn't like that, but when I was but the thing is when I was playing through that game, it's just the combat felt so good, the swinging felt great, and I also learned how stupid a lot of people are with giving reviews. I never trust numerical scores because numbers are super arbitrary.
So what did you see that was like bad?
Like one of the local guys that I buy games from, he said he'd give it a 9 out of 10, and he was talking nothing but praise. I'm like, oh, well, what didn't you like about it? The swing mechanic took too long to get used to.
No.
And like that's stupid. If I'm like rating the game saying that what I didn't like about it, I think the Mary Jane missions were kind of weak.
Yeah.
I think that they were fun.
And the Miles missions also.
The MJ missions, I like the Miles missions.
Did you?
I think the MJ missions were a little weak. I think I played through it a second time because that's the first game I wanted to play through it again instantly. But I didn't get New Game Plus yet. I had to wait.
Oh.
But when I was playing through the MJ missions, I'm like, could it just be over already, man? So I was playing through that, and then I remember I was playing through it, and I thought the combat was really good, but I did not like the challenge missions for the challenge coins.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that is really good.
It gets worse.
I know.
Yeah, it gets worse when you play the DLC.
I was pretty close to getting 100% completion.
Okay.
But it's just when I was playing through it, it was just, it was tedious. It didn't felt fun. Like there was some that I loved, like the stealth ones.
Okay.
Where you gotta like stealthily take out everyone in a certain amount of time without getting noticed. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I put on my Spider-Man Noir suit and I was going to town.
which is right there. Spider-Man.
My favorite Spider-Man suit.
The Nicolas Cage of Spider-Man.
Yeah. And I think that, man, it's just, when I was playing through that game, I felt like Spider-Man. Okay. That's the best compliment I could give it.
Were you wearing a onesie too, or was it just...
when I was wearing my trusty Freddy Krueger shirt.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a T-shirt of a pedophile. I get you.
Hey, no.
Freddy was a pedophile.
No, that was only in the reboot. They said that.
But listen,
in the original, he captured and killed children. He could have just been like a
Hey, listen. Either way, he's messed up.
Yeah, but if you're sleeping and you get yourself thrown across the room, don't look to me. Anyway, yeah. So, what do you think? What are your overall thoughts on the game? I was chatting for a bit.
Honestly, like I really like. I felt like it was like Grand Theft Auto with Spider-Man.
That's a fair thing.
I like the fact that it looked like. I know you've never seen it, but it looks like New York City. Like it.
But they fucked up the Brooklyn Bridge.
They
Excuse
did.
my language.
They did, but you know, there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's in there that, like, you know, where the World Trade Center used to be. Mm-hmm. You know, they have like certain things like Avengers Tower, which, you know, isn't in New York, but it's cool. Harlem is a part. This is the first time Harlem looks so nice.
Yeah, it's not an absolute like crap show. It actually looks decent. It looks like what Harlem is.
Like I was like, oh my God, is this where Bill Clinton is?
It's actually gentrified now. I think what was really good is that I like the scale of the city. I felt like when you were climbing it, then it felt really good. And the best thing I could say to the game is it awarded you for being a New Yorker. Mm-hmm. Like if there are things that you would take a picture of.
Taking pictures of.
Yeah, but like if you took a picture of something, like if you took a picture of the Wall Street Bull that most people wouldn't take pictures of, it was a secret photo op. And like there's times where I'm like, oh, I'm surprised this wasn't in the photo ops.
I've taken that also. That was like, there's like a thing that you have to do to get.
Yes, so I did that, and I took a picture of like the Statue of Liberty. That's an obvious one, or things like that. And they even put like the Avengers Tower in the game. They had their own version of the Empire State.
When's the last time that you saw New York as a character in a video game? Do you remember?
What do you mean as a character?
This is definitely New York.
Grand Theft Auto 4 did a decent job.
And I think True Crime, do you remember those games?
Yeah.
True Crime New York City did that.
No, I think the best thing that comes to mind was Grand Theft Auto 4, not because of the layout, but because of the feel. It felt right.
Okay, the feel, okay.
If you get the right mods too, it feels like you're going through New York City.
True.
I think that's what's really important is you can't get a one-to-one scale in New York City. The place is massive.
Yeah.
It's huge.
But they had Manhattan down packed.
They're pretty close, yeah.
Pretty close.
They cut out some things that were obvious. Like I was looking around, Waterside I don't think was there.
Yeah, I don't think Hunts Point was there. I didn't see any prostitutes. I didn't see de Blasio handing out cookies.
The best thing is though is that if you're Spider-Man, you're walking down the street, people want to take photos with you,
or give you a handshake,
give you a high five. They say, "Do the spider thing, do the shoot webs." And there's times where what I hate is that when I take something off the car, like when I took off the trunk if someone's trapped in it, and it just throws it at some random person, like I'm so sorry, please.
Well, yeah, that is a great game.
Yeah.
Let's get into the Spider-Verse.
That movie, that's another passion project.
Yeah, Golden Globe winning.
I didn't watch a Golden Globes.
Oh no, it's first Golden Globe of the night.
Wow.
Yeah, best animated feature.
It was so great. I think that the best thing about the movie for me, aside from them doing Miles Morales right, finally having a good Black Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think, but they did it before that in the game. But anyway, but I think that it was just a feast to look at. It was like every shot in the movie could have been taken as a photo and put on your wall kind of thing.
It looked like a comic book to me.
They had so many different art styles from like Spider-Ham to Spider-Man Noir. It was played by Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
That was really funny.
But the way I watched it twice. So the way Nicolas Cage was talking in this thing, basically he was like, "Hey, see?" He was talking like one of those 50s, 30s gangsters.
It was perfect.
He's like, "Hey, Spider-Man, hey, come over here, creep."
Yeah.
Like everything he said rhymed too. Did you catch that also?
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh.
And I think that, but like one thing that was really impressive is the fact that they put those art styles they're so different and made it work.
Yeah.
And Miles Morales, his suit was awesome. Right here, is this the new one?
Yeah, this one right here is
that one. Is that with the hood?
That's with the black, yeah.
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 Is there too much reflection there?
Probably is, but it's all good.
All right, cool. All right, no, so that's one thing that I really appreciate is that Miles Morales, he went through his trials and tribulations in a way that wasn't like Peter Parker's.
Right.
It was more like, it felt like Miles, it felt like he was living his lifestyle, and it was like, me watching it felt like I was watching something unique. It didn't feel like that.
It felt different. Like just watching the first Spider-Man that was up there with Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Chris Pine played the first one, and like you just seeing him like in battle with these huge, humongous characters like Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And Kingpin.
Yeah.
They're all like oversized characters, and to see, I'm sorry if this is spoiling, but this is
it's pretty early on.
It's pretty early on. Spider-Man dies in the first scene, and then you see all these other Spider-Men pop up like afterwards, and it's like just to see the difference between Chris Pine, Jake Johansson, Nicolas Cage, and the rest of them.
And it was so well acted. It was so well done. It was sonically beautiful, which I'm sure everyone here knows that I actually appreciate if something sounds good.
Oh, I worked with two of the people in the project. Like I worked with Shameik Moore, and I worked with Mahershala Ali.
Wow.
Yeah, two different projects, but like I'm always happy to see people I worked with like on big projects. I just wish it was me.
I'm with you there. We'll make our own Spider-Man movie. We got like 6 figures. You can do that.
If you're going into the Spider-Verse, can't you get the fat Spider-Man? Like, what's going on? Like, you can't get some guy that can't wear. I mean, Jake Johansson kind of was.
Yeah.
So like Jake Johansson Spider-Man, he was the Spider-Man that wore sweatpants.
One thing that was so heartbreaking.
And he was kind of fat too. It was hilarious.
It was so heartbreaking when he got sucked into the Spider-Verse and his slice of pizza got left on the ceiling. I'm like, he'll never have that slice of pizza. It's just gonna lie there.
Hey, this was the Spider-Man that gave up on everything, and he's just sitting at home eating pizza by himself. Mary Jane doesn't want anything to do with him anymore.
But the most brilliant thing about that movie that I think is when they all gave their backstories and how it differed. They all started the exact same, and then they differed with each character as they're introducing them.
I heard that was actually some people had issues with that.
Really?
Yeah, some people had issues because like you introduced everybody else, but when you introduced Spider-Ham, who else? That Spider, that robot, and Spider Noir
from fucking Overwatch.
Yeah, they were all at the same time. It wasn't just you know, it wasn't just like separate like how everybody else was.
Yeah.
You know.
They did. But I'm saying there's actual introduction like pieces that they did.
Right, they did.
Yeah, they still had them, but I think that what was great is the way they did it.
Yeah.
Is that you see the first two are very similar,
right,
and then they slowly start deviating away from that. I love that, and it was really cool
because they did 4 already. Like I mean, they did
and those first 4 were really the first 3 were really in depth. Yeah. But wow, I was so blown away by that. I think that just me sitting in that movie, I didn't want to like leave my seat or anything.
It was a real live comic book. Like I watched it twice. Like the aesthetics of that film are so like we haven't seen anything like that before. And like I hear now a lot of other places like Sony's mad because other animated movies want to take that style.
Yeah.
You know,
but what's really good about it though that a lot of people are looking over is that it's a wacky story.
It is.
It's about Spider-Men and women because no spoiler, but it's about Spider people coming in from all different dimensions and just fighting one big baddie. And what they don't realize is that we can get really weird Spider-Man stories. Like you can get the Superior Spider-Man with Doc Ock. Can you imagine that on the big screen?
I almost brought that today too as one of my Funkos.
Ooh. But like no, just the idea of that, or we could have Superman Red Sun on the big screen.
We could.
Because
they also have that new movie out with Superman, Reign of Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just came out.
And you saw the one that I showed you.
Oh yeah, Horror Superman.
The Horror Superman. I forgot what it was called. But no, but one thing is that we had 2 movies that really had a defining moment for modern comic book movies. Right. We had Deadpool and Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Deadpool showed that people are fine with rated R movies. They should not have done the Christmas one, which is PG-13.
I never saw the Christmas one.
I did not bother because I heard it's cut like an edit for TV movie.
Yeah,
the only good thing about it is like the actual commentary in it.
And Fred Savage.
Yeah, the Fred Savage commentary.
You can't front on Fred Savage.
But aside from that, it didn't seem worth it. Deadpool 2 is fine.
Okay.
But that Into the Spider-Verse like really illustrates what the audiences are tolerant of. Because I remember I was in 6th grade, I think, when the early MCU movies were coming out.
Okay.
And I think I was in high school actually. Yeah, I was in high school when you had Iron Man and then you had Avengers and all those. And I remember I was talking to my teacher about it. I'm like, you should see this. This is not just a good superhero movie. It's a great movie all around. She's like, yeah, but it has the Hulk and has Captain America and has Iron Man and Spider-Man. I'm like, what's damage?
Well, you gotta understand our culture did not like superhero movies.
Yeah.
So, for instance, like the first actual quote-unquote Superman movie, we're going to go back to the 1978 Superman.
Yeah.
You know, like that was a big thing for people to have. And then when you had Superman, you came out with Superman 1, Superman 2 was great. Then you had it went lackluster with 3 and 4. Then you have the Batmans that came afterwards with Batman 1 and 2 were awesome. Then went downhill with the next 2.
Yeah.
So after the 90s with superhero movies, it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth.
Well, especially if you're looking at like a superhero movie like what they used to do with Aquaman.
Okay.
Like the comics.
Okay.
That's like a perfect example, like how Aquaman's an absolute badass in the comics.
Right.
Like there is a time in the comic where you have the supervillain giving his monologue and Aquaman just didn't care and threw a spear right through his throat.
Right. But that's not the Aquaman that people know. People know that blonde-haired Aquaman with the weird red top and green pants.
Yeah.
Green tights.
Yeah.
You know, talking to fishes.
Momoa had that, but it was more well executed.
I know, it was a little bit better. But like I said, like there was a time when like superhero movies sucked. You know, it like Marvel was known for like a whole bunch of bad movies where they had like a bad Fantastic Four that happened in the 90s and nobody ever saw.
All the Fantastic Four, like Fantastic.
But like they actually came out with a Spider-Man probably in 1989 that nobody's ever seen because it was so bad. The same thing with Captain America. They also had a Punisher, and this is like early 90s.
I've seen the Punisher.
No, not the one with John Travolta.
Oh.
No, there's one with Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like nobody really knows about this. It used to come on Channel 11 like in the early 90s and it would come on like on a Saturday or a Sunday. You would see these movies, but the movies were cheesy. Like nobody wanted this. Like as a kid, I could never fathom the Avengers happening. I never thought they would do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was constantly thinking about that. I remember when the first Avengers came out, I was thinking, how are they going to execute Infinity War? how's that going to be possible? It's such a mess, like, as a story.
Right.
Because I remember reading that as like someone at the time I was like kind of seasoned. I wasn't really like a massive comic book fan. But that was like at my peak.
Right.
And when I was reading, it's just like I get the concept of it. I get the concept of the Infinity Gauntlet with the stones and everything. But it's just there's so much going on, and there's so much stuff you need to read to catch up to it. And what I think is that Infinity War, the movie, did it better. It was still kind of a mess.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it was a mess. I knew of Thanos through video games, actually. There was a video game that had Thanos in it, and part of it was that he got all the Infinity Stones. Or gems at the time. And he was in, like, I knew of him, and I knew that he can do that. So I was on board when I watched the first Avengers, and I saw Thanos was there. I was like, oh, I know exactly who that is. See, for me, I never read comic books. Like, I only know this from pop culture. Like, I know this from watching cartoons or playing video games or whatever, just knowing about them. See, comic books weren't like cool.
They were not cool for me either. No, when I remember one of my closest friends growing up, I remember I went to go give her back her comic books that I borrowed, and I was like really like I was careful about it. I made sure I flipped it so you only saw the white panel on the back. It was like a drug deal. Trying to give back the comic books.
It was not cool. Like, I've had like 3 comics in my lifetime. One of them was Spider-Man, the other one was X-Men.
I remember I got into comic books actually with the Brian Posehn series of Deadpool. Because I was really pissed off that there was never like a Deadpool TV show or movie or anything at the time.
There was supposed to be.
They had the game. I liked the game. The combat was pretty average, but it was really funny.
Yeah, I did like the game.
And just like me overall watching it, me like reading the comics, I'm like, this is incredible about Deadpool bringing dead presidents back to life. And, like, having to fight them. Like, what a perfect story for Deadpool.
Deadpool is a crazy character.
And Brian Posehn, being the comedian that he is, like he did a good job with it. It kind of fell off after a few issues, but
I have to watch that though. So he's playing Deadpool?
Brian Posehn?
Yeah.
No, he wrote the comic.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Reynolds is playing Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
Who played Deadpool in the game was Nolan North.
Okay. I played the game.
That was Nolan North.
Yeah, okay.
But that was just incredible to me. And I think that is really one thing that I've seen that was brilliant is I see more people wearing superhero shirts. I remember when I was in high school and I wore a Batman shirt, but it wasn't like a straight up Batman shirt. It had like the Dark Knight style outline and it had like the bat symbol and like splattered in blood on it. It was pretty cool. But I remember I wore that and I used to get like people used to get like give me remarks about it or whatever.
Because it wasn't cool, man.
But now I see like Flash shirts being sold and I say, well, who's your favorite Flash? And he just can't answer that. One guy said Sheldon. And just like I noticed this, and there's really some cool stuff going on in comics, and there's some really, I deviated so far from superhero stuff. Like if I read anything, it's like Saga, which is like Star Wars type things.
Yeah, no, I heard about Saga.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, I'm just really excited on what the potential future has to hold for superhero movies.
Do you think this oversaturated? Do you think that's too many?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I think the annual superhero movie is fine. I think we get 3 now a year.
Well, now that like Disney and Fox are like you know connected now we won't see as much as we used to before.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't need a superhero movie a year. Give me like one good one every 2 years maybe. I think that we don't. Am I good? Huh? Oh, sorry. I think that I have that habit. I think when I'm watching these movies, it's just. A lot of them are a cookie cutter formula that is Marvel, and when I'm watching the Marvel formula, it's like they changed it, but to a new formula. But it used to be, you have the guy is really weird and awkward. Then half the movie is him slowly getting his powers, and then like another third of it is him using his powers, and then you have the final act,
the origin story.
But for all of them, and they were all the same formula, and I was so sick of it. I think that Captain America was cool. The final act had Marvel syndrome, where the final act of all these Marvel movies are trash. I'm really hoping DC gets their act together because I really like Aquaman.
Aquaman was like I was very surprised I would like Aquaman.
It was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah, I didn't think I would, and then I'm like, oh okay, and I know the guy in that too. I know the main villain in that one.
Oh really?
Yeah. See, I get around, man.
He's got connections.
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Hey, if you stay tuned into the Jump Cut, you get connected with some of Nigel's people. Who knows? Yeah, some very interesting people in the future, I guess, is going on. But I think that I'm hoping Disney gets their crowd together because The Dark Knight is still, I think, the best superhero movie made.
Think so?
The final act is trash, but I think that they did some brilliant things with it.
Yeah, I think that Joker is iconic. When you think of the long list of Joker people that played Joker, I think that Joker is iconic.
We're talking about Jared Leto as number one.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix looks really promising though.
It looks promising, but I don't know enough of it to I just know the picture that they showed.
Yeah. No, they had footage.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Right. I'll show it to you after the show.
Sure.
But the Joaquin Phoenix, I think, was super interesting to watch.
But how do you feel about, going back to the Spider-Man thing, how do you feel about the new trailer that dropped this week?
Oh, boy. I love the suit.
Didn't I text you at like 9 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, listen?
Yeah. I was getting ready, and you sent me the extended one, which had like 5 trailers in it.
Yeah.
So yeah. I hate watching trailers. That's just me because I have to now. Okay. But I hate watching trailers because the Terminator Genesis, Star Wars Episode 3, all those spoiled the ending of the movie in the trailer.
Right.
And there's so many trailers where I know how it's going to end just based on the trailer. If it's enough for me to want like some of the concept, like Star Wars Episode 7 did it perfectly.
Okay.
It was just a little bit enough to whet your taste buds, and then you're like, I'm in. Okay. I'm on board. But then you have Terminator Genesis, which gives you the twist in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, if it's a movie that I'm really anticipating, I won't watch reviews or trailers, even for games too. But I watched the Spider-Man trailer, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed. And spoiler alert for the trailer, but I'm disappointed that I learned that there was a bunch of the villains in there. I wish I was surprised with that. I think that I like the new suit. I like how it's black and red instead of blue and red, and that's pretty cool. That's like a nice touch. Tom Holland is still great as ever.
You know what? They spoiled a couple things for me, right?
All right. So what they get for you? Donnie Darko, Mysterio.
No, not. I knew that already. I knew that he was going to be there. Mm-hmm. My thing was Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
Knows that Spider-Man is Spider-Man now. You know, Aunt May knows that Spider-Man is Spider-Man. So how does she I know at the end of Homecoming she found out. Mm-hmm. But how is she dealing with the fact that her nephew almost died?
We got a question for you, Nigel.
Oh, sure.
Nigel, answer this question. Who can you play in a comic book movie?
Ooh. I would really want to play Bishop.
Someone said Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut! Thanks.
And shout out to Aaron, Marcus, and Steve for tuning in. You all are great people.
Thank you.
But
the Juggernaut.
Anyway, back to who would you be?
I would like to be Bishop. I don't want to be no damn Juggernaut.
Be Bishop.
You know, you want me to be the Blob or something like that? Like, come on.
No, I don't know who I'd be. I don't want to be a hero. Because if I have a hero, that means my parents get killed, or that means I have to sit and do something really stupid that'll leave my uncle to die in the alleyway somewhere, or just I don't know. I don't need superpowers. If I had a superpower, it would just be to freeze time so I can sleep for 8 hours at 1 minute before my alarm.
Oh,
that's what it would be.
Nah, my superpower is to make people tell the truth.
But. Yeah. Anyway, I'm really excited about the future of superhero movies as a whole. I think that one thing which we could transition to in a bit is Netflix has been doing good with showing shows. Could be good.
Okay.
I watched Titans on DC.
Oh wow.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. I was really shocked. People are going into it saying, "Oh, well, it's not just a recreation of the comic book or like the series or whatever." And I'm like. If you're watching something like this, it's okay to know the source material and understand it.
Right.
What's not okay is if you're sitting there and you're just like, wow, this isn't faithful, then I'm out, you know?
Yeah, I have an issue with that where people say it's not like the book because obviously if I wanted the book, I would read
Marcus said I'm already Freddy Krueger, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if I wanted the book, I would read the book.
Yeah,
it's spoiling it if I know what's going to happen. I don't go into a movie saying, oh, I know what's going to happen.
There's some things where I want to see what happens in a comic book with a big budget.
Right.
But if I'm sitting there, I'm just going to leave this on. I'm not going to leave this on my lap. But there's one thing I noticed that when I'm watching these things, I go into it as if I've never heard of it before in my life. Mm-hmm. And it's just the comments here, so you can do it too.
I'll get mine.
No, when I toss it over, give me it. Yeah! It's back. It's made a comeback.
Awesome.
This gets like the pinnacle.
Oh wow, there's like a lot of comments.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, so I just want to finish up on this thought.
Sure.
With Titans, what it does is it gives you like an older Dick Grayson.
Okay.
It gives you a really young Robin who's like still discovering who she is, and you have like you're learning with all these things that you're learning with these characters. I wasn't too fond of what's her name? Starfighter. Starfire, because like she looked a little bit too much like a prostitute on out of a 7-Eleven in the city for me.
Said that, yeah.
But I gave it a chance, and I think the reason she looks the way it is, the fur coat, I think she kind of loses if I remember.
Okay.
But the way she is because she goes into it with amnesia.
Oh.
And she has and she doesn't know who she is, and she's like, there's some twists that go on in there that you learn about her backstory. But you go in there with every character knowing nothing, and then you learn about them, and they bring in some like other heroes and stuff.
Right.
The finale was really cool. I don't want to spoil it, but it involved.
I heard, yeah.
It involved Gotham, so I really like that.
I heard. So
it wasn't a finale though. It should have been the episode before finale.
Okay.
Because the season didn't feel like it ended.
Right.
So I'm waiting for the next season, but they had to do
Patrol's coming up soon, which I hear is like freaky. Like I don't know anything about Doom Patrol.
I don't know. I got a 7-day trial for DC Universe Online. I watched that like straight down. Not the game, the service.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But no, it's like. It's a good show, and I think that it's not amazing, but people who are discrediting it just based on what other people said are just like wrong. Because if you give it a chance and you show that you enjoy it and you show your support, that means you get more DC stuff. We win.
Yeah.
If we support the good stuff, we get more of the good stuff.
Listen, I don't know too much about
Justice League.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know too much about DC. Like I know more Marvel than I do DC. Oh wow.
Yeah. It's time for a Gargoyles movie. I'm really.
Is Disney ever going to do a Gargoyles movie? I doubt it. Were you a big fan of that or no? That was before your time?
No, I know of it. I wasn't too huge on it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it either.
No, but I like.
I never told you my Gargoyles story, did I?
No, you didn't. Do it.
All
do
right.
it.
You guys will
Nigel story time. New segment.
This is very geekish of me. But when the Gargoyles first came out, there was a contest to name all the Gargoyles on the show.
Yeah.
And if you named them, you had to mail it back then. The internet didn't really exist.
Yeah.
So you mailed it, and I mailed it, and I totally forgot about it. I won a whole buttload of Nerf toys.
Wow.
Yeah, like I had the suction cup, the darts. I had the arrow. I had footballs. I had everything, like Nerf. And I would go to school every day with a new toy.
Yeah, I was
every
like
day.
That too. I was like that with Power Rangers.
I wasn't allowed to bring the guns to school, but I really wanted to bring like all of like the suction cup dart things. Like I wanted to bring those, but I brought all my footballs there. Yeah, all the footballs got stolen.
Yeah, no, I was never a sports guy.
No, that was fun times. I didn't care either because like I had more.
Yeah.
Until they all left.
No, but I think overall, just like to summarize this whole bit, is that it's really good. I really like what is going on with superhero movies. I like the fact that things are going to TV shows for stories that need to be fleshed out more. DC, Titans sounds like they learned their lesson. It sounds like that they need 10 episodes, and 10 episodes, to introduce all these characters and make them feel like they mean something.
Okay. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it. With DC, I watch what?
My friend Steve, he said beat the hell out of your friends with Nerf swords. Because me and my friend, what we used to do in high school is we used to settle our disputes like men on the playground.
Okay.
And we used to go drive our cars over to the playground and meet, park on opposite sides, walk to each other, and then pull out our Nerf swords and have a Nerf fight. And I remember my old watch, I had one of these, it shattered with the hit. And like my friend Ryan joined in on us, and we used to beat him with the sword too, and it just like we nearly broke his thumb and everything. Because we're adults. If we're hitting each other at that age, it's just.
I don't listen, man. That sounds weird. No judgment.
We're talking about comic books and movies on a podcast. So.
Yeah, you could talk about the prostitute, superhero, but you can't talk about that.
No, but I think that's really good that they're learning their lesson with it. They're not doing another Justice League with just one movie of prep time.
Yeah, I watched Justice League. I wasn't really I watched it at home.
It was fun. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. Same thing with Suicide Squad. I watched it. It wasn't great.
I saw it in theaters, and I think what was really good about seeing it in theaters is that me and my friends got to make fun of it as it was going on.
Got you. I just like Will Smith.
Yeah.
I was all on board for that. Anything else?
I was really curious about the Jared Leto Joker.
There wasn't enough of him.
No, there wasn't. And apparently he had 45 minutes of content they cut.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
I don't know. All I know is I saw Jared Leto live as 30 Seconds to Mars, and I just wish that either he'd pick the Joker or he'd go back to the old stuff. Go back to the emo days. Make Jared Leto emo again. Prevent him from being the modern-day pop rock Jesus.
Oh, God.
Have you seen what he looks like now?
No, I haven't.
He's got like the long hair and like the long beard, and he walks on stage wearing like a full white robe. Oh my God, he's a mess.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not here to trash talk, Jared Leto. That's not our job.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
That's not our job. I'm really optimistic for what DC has to come up. But another thing that we wanted to bring up is Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix has a really, I'm checking. Netflix has a really promising future and a really depressing future as well. They had Daredevil, which proved itself to be one of the first really cinematic TV shows.
Yes.
And it was really well executed. It gave me my first taste of The Punisher on the big screen with, what's the actor's name?
You're talking about the one with John Travolta's in it?
No, I'm talking about for The Punisher, the new
series.
One. Yeah.
I don't know his name.
I remembered his name. I missed that. He was from The Walking Dead, though.
Yeah.
He played Shane in The Walking Dead. It was back when I used to actually care about the show.
Okay.
And I remember I was watching. I'm like, I can't get Shane out of my head, but almost instantly he fixed that.
Yeah.
Just like with Bryan Cranston, I could not see him as not Malcolm's dad, but then Heisenberg came on.
Yeah.
There's Heisenberg now. But I remember just watching the show, and I went through so many emotions with it. I was really invested in it. It was really bingeable. They released everything at once. That also started the new thing: original series for the streaming platforms,
right? And
could release everything at once, so make people wait.
Okay.
Which Hulu didn't do with it wasn't Defenders. I forgot the show that they released. They had some show where they turned into animals or whatever. And that's what it was.
When they turned into
they didn't turn into animals. It was like some. I only watched the first 3. They released 3 episodes of it in one go on Hulu. It was a Hulu original.
Oh, you're talking about Runaways?
Yes, Runaways.
Okay, yeah, I didn't watch Runaways.
So yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes and I was kind of interested, and I would have kept going, but they released it on a weekly basis, and I stopped caring.
Yeah, because
Hulu
didn't do it well.
Yeah. Aaron said Netflix killed Luke Cage, and I say good.
You didn't like Luke Cage?
I didn't like. I watched first season. I didn't watch the second.
You didn't watch second season.
I heard second was good, but first one just bored me. It was.
I mean, yeah, there were some tropes and some things that didn't work. The thing for me is for them to put on Luke Cage on there.
John Bernthal, thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing for me with Luke Cage was I liked seeing a different kind of superhero. Mm-hmm. You know, I like the fact that when he fights, he listens to Wu-Tang Clan.
No,
I thought for what it was good. It's not Daredevil because I like the fighting in Daredevil.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones.
Titans had really good fight scenes.
Oh, I gotta watch.
Amazing, great sound design with it too. But
yeah, I watched Jessica Jones. I like the fact that the villain is really
No, Jessica Jones was. I loved that show.
Okay.
I think they're making a 3rd season. I don't know, but
I didn't like the 2nd season.
I didn't mind it because it was more Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I didn't like the second season.
I liked. What was his name? Kilgrave, the villain for the first season.
Kilgrave was the best.
What I liked about him is, first of all, he might be the best Marvel villain just in general.
Think so?
Because in terms of a lot of Marvel villains will get fleshed out and you really don't care about their motives or whatever, but Kilgrave, he was manipulative.
He was layered.
He was layered, but he was manipulative, which is really symbolic for the modern day culture that is being preached. And you have and he's also kind of he just spoke to people. That was his evil power.
Right.
It's he could do mind control, but it was just by speaking to people.
Yeah.
And it was all through his own twisted ways out of heartbreak.
He's basically
his own
evil
twisted heartbreak.
Dr. Oz.
Yeah. But I thought that was really intriguing. I think that and what I really liked is actually when Luke Cage came into Jessica Jones. I found that really entertaining.
Yes, I do like when they show up in different shows. Me personally, I watched that 2nd season of Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And it was actually better than the 1st season. I thought it was gonna suck.
I didn't watch it because I just heard it was gonna be so bad. I tried to watch Defenders.
Defenders is bad.
I did not like it.
Defenders is bad.
That depressed me. But
yeah, but Iron Fist season 2 is better.
Is it good or is it just better?
It's better. I won't say that it's great.
Yeah.
But it's not it's hard because we just left Daredevil, so Daredevil's at the end of Defenders, I do believe Matt Murdock told Iron Fist to say, he said, listen, watch over my city. So that's kind of what Iron Fist is doing in the 2nd season. So they're not going over to China again like they did in the 1st season of Iron Fist. So it's mostly all in New York.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty good. Yeah. I know another show that I liked that was a superhero movie was Arrow. I liked the first 2 seasons of that.
I like the first 2 seasons of Arrow, yeah.
I watched the first 3 seasons and I started season 4. I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, I still watch Arrow.
But what was good about Arrow is that Arrow had, one thing that we found really intriguing is that even the episodes that were filler was just Arrow kicking ass. And that was fun.
Well, this season is pretty fun starting out because he was in jail the whole time.
S.H.I.E.L.D. was trash. Continue.
What? Who?
S.H.I.E.L.D. My friend was talking about S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s trash. Yeah, but in Arrow this season, he's in jail like for the first 6 episodes.
Yeah,
like he's like has all these jail fights like the whole time. So that's been cool.
There's really good character development in it too.
Yeah,
that's what I really liked about it.
But it's just like the past couple seasons I've been watching Arrow, and I'm just like, it's not like how it was in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think that I liked the way it was going initially, but I think that continuing onward, we have like we have these shows that weren't intended to run this long,
right?
And they tell the story that they're trying to tell,
right?
And then they just keep milking it because like they have to, and it's
like
not
Flash.
Their hearts aren't in it.
Like Flash,
yeah.
I think they suffer from the problem of we're so used to 13 episodes of Netflix, and even we say that's too many episodes.
Yeah, no, I think that with the UK, one thing I gotta give them props with is that in the UK you have
4 episodes.
You have 1 series, and that's it. And if it does exceptionally well, it has to do exceptionally well, then it has more episodes.
You're right.
But one show that actually perfectly captured it, which I would recommend all of you to watch, was called Episodes.
Okay.
It follows these 2 British screenwriters who wrote a show out in the UK.
Okay.
They said, "Oh, come to America. We want to put your show on actual broadcast television.
Right.
But let's change everything about it so it could be just like a show about like romance and heartbreak and everything, to a show about a coach teaching hockey." And it
wasn't it on Showtime?
It might have been, but I just remember watching it and I'm like, this is so brilliantly done. It's so self-aware, and they're like, it's about them fighting with what they love versus what the corporation wants, and just to make their child exist.
All right.
Like they wanted to give up, and there was so much trials going through there, but they just ended up. It's just a great story. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
But I just I'm keeping track of everything.
Oh no.
I think that. Regarding Daredevil, it's stupid for them to drop it because we thought that Netflix was on a good thing, and then they dropped Daredevil. Who knows?
Well, they had to because of this whole Disney streaming service.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing.
But we don't know if Disney picks it up. I'm not watching it. Disney, I'm not paying for your streaming service. Continue.
Disney. I am. I like Disney.
I don't mind Disney, but it's
I don't think they're gonna ruin. They know who their audience is. So if they're gonna do Daredevil, they have to do them just like how Charlie Cox does Daredevil.
Yeah.
But the only problem is that they have a hold for 2 years.
Yeah.
They can't do anything for another, till sometime next year.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that sucks. That's why all of these shows are being canceled right afterwards.
Yeah, it's just. But the thing is that like Disney can make their money from Netflix still.
I know they can. They still are.
Yeah, I know, and and it doesn't make sense to me why I know they're just greedy for it and all, and they want everything to be kind of centralized, but it's just
they're Disney. But that's how Disney does Disney.
But it's going to reach a point, and this always happens, where these companies get burned from it, and when they get burned, then they're like, okay, maybe we need to loosen the reins. Like for example, we had Justice League, where it was all those movies in that era. I'm calling it the crap. I can't curse. I'm calling it the crap era of DC. Okay. But it's because like we had Man of Steel was what started it.
Right.
And then we had
never saw Man of Steel.
Not my cup of tea.
Okay.
I actually think Dark Knight Rises might have started it. I think Dark Knight Rises wasn't that great.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises was okay.
I think that started it. I think that started the dissension, and then you had like Batman vs Superman, which I knew from the get-go was a bad idea.
Never saw it.
From the get-go, I knew it was a bad idea.
Watch it. It was. You know how long they've been trying to do Batman vs Superman? Like I remember being in college and reading about.
They did an anime about it. I forgot what it was called, but they did an animation.
Did they?
About it, and it was really good.
Oh, I never saw it. It was all
about this one was more about like Batman like building his costume so this way he can take on Superman instead of it just kind of being like, oh, here's Krypton, now we gotta have a fist fight.
Oh no, I remember like in 2003 they were talking about Batman vs Superman, and even in I Am Legend they speak about Batman vs Superman. I don't know if when's the last time you've seen it?
Years ago.
Okay, so there is a poster for Batman v Superman.
The new one, or
no,
just like a concept?
It was a concept. Okay. It was a concept, but that was what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And like I Am Legend came out like 2009.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So like for that to like, I knew it was coming, but I just didn't know when. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah, but then after that, you also had Wonder Woman, which was good for the first 2/3.
Right.
And then the final act was just supernatural, and it was like it could have been done so much better. It was basically,
it was kind of weird.
Everyone who tells me that Wonder Woman was great, watch Captain America. They're the same movie.
The same movie.
They're the same movie.
Besides the Amazons, though.
Yeah, the Amazonians. But I think that the first act of Wonder Woman was more entertaining than the first act of Captain America.
True.
That I will say.
True.
But Captain America...
The Star Spangled Man?
They started going downhill, but it's like Captain America was like this, and Wonder Woman was like this, and they just like, they were still going downhill, but just one dropped the tank past it. And when I was... and that's one thing that kind of like upset me, is I really enjoyed what I saw, and I think that it was really cool that they made a female superhero movie.
Right.
But they could have done better. Like Captain Marvel looks like it could be promising.
I already bought my ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to see that.
Yeah, I already bought my ticket.
I gotta use my movie pass. But yeah, I think that I'm really anticipating that, and I'm just really hoping that Netflix can get some good stuff going. I hope that they drop Friends. If they drop Friends, they get so much more funding that they can put in other things.
Why is that?
Because they pay a lot of money for the royalty to keep Friends. Ooh. Because a lot of people keep their Netflix to watch episodes of The Office and Friends on rerun. Actually, no, I don't watch Friends. I'm wrong. It's not that great. Yeah. It's if you want a good sitcom, watch like How I Met Your Mother for the first few seasons, or you can watch like
the first
Seinfeld.
Couple seasons are cool. Seinfeld's cool.
Or you can watch like Frasier. But anyway, I think I got that wrong. They paid a shitload of money for, excuse my language again. They paid a load of money to keep Friends, and they might drop The Office. And I think The Office is a pretty good show. I think it's one of the few shows that America I think did better than the UK.
True.
But I think that I just think that if they drop like those really big, expensive shows, they can like focus on more things.
Well, I see them dropping a lot of those shows now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like whereas they're moving everything. Every month you see something leaving Netflix.
Yeah.
So and they have so much like stuff. Like they spent $1 billion on programming. I know because I have royalties from it. Thanks Netflix. But they spent a lot of money on original programming, and like that's why every week you see a new comedy special, or that's why you see a new movie, or like that's why you see a new TV show. They have over 1,000 new TV shows that they've done since last year to now.
Yeah.
You know?
And are they all original, or are
They're all original.
Wow. One show actually I was watching a few shows that were Netflix originals. I forgot the name of one of them. It was starring the guy who...
There's a new one every week. I watched one.
No, but this one was like especially enjoyable. It was a British one. It was starring the guy who played Ron Weasley from Harry Potter.
Okay.
It was about how it's really funny. It's about how he gets diagnosed with cancer. So and like he's just a generally garbage person, and Netflix needs little Nick at Night lineups.
But well, I think somebody else took the Nick at Night stuff.
Oh, it might have been Hulu. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Hulu.
Oh, well, regardless, the show's like it's about how like the guy who plays Ron Weasley. I forgot his name, so I'm gonna call him Ron Weasley. Okay. Which actually broke my view of him being Ron Weasley, but sorry, people. Ron Weasley being like a generally like really bad person, and then he gets diagnosed with cancer, and then he tells his girlfriend. His girlfriend falls back in love with him because of it.
Oh, I heard of yeah.
And then what happens is then he realizes that the getting diagnosed with cancer was a misdiagnosis.
Right.
And now he has to pretend that he has cancer for the show.
Right. Yeah.
And it was just it's one of those cringe comedies that's done super well. And it kind of reminded me. It gave me a similar feel to Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Like it had that kind of comedy feel with it. It could have also been because like it's that similar British style.
Dark comedy.
Yeah, but it was really entertaining with it, and it takes some really dark turns.
Yeah.
But I just love a good dark comedy show. Like I loved Legit from Jim Jeffries.
I never saw Legit.
Legit was a really funny show.
I used to like what's the show with Elijah Wood and the dog?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What, so like Wilbur or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I used to love that show.
Yeah, no, that was really funny. And there's also this show, I forgot who was on it. It was some big actor, but it was like this cringe comedy where he wanted to go and learn to be a clown, like that was his passion. Oh,
that was Zach Galifianakis?
Yes. Yeah, that was a really funny show. But yeah, we have some really artsy stuff that like a lot of times it just wouldn't work, but there's a few times when it does, and the few times that it actually does, it's really great.
Right.
Because these are like smaller passion projects. These aren't like big budget things being flooded like the superhero stuff.
True.
If you make something with the Marvel branding on it, expectations are that. They're already through the roof.
They should be because it's Disney.
Sick note. That's what my friend said.
Oh, okay.
He knows. Oh, he had to look it up. I'm sure you looked it up. I'm calling you out on that. But it was called Sick Note. It was really good. And I think when we have these smaller shows that aren't like as inflated with the budget, they have to get more creative, and that's way more entertaining for me.
Oh, awesome.
But anyway, the regarding the Netflix like original stuff, I'm so mixed on it. I have such a mixed bag on like what I'm planning on doing with the future of like Netflix. Whether or not I want to keep my membership, they're raising the cost.
Yes, they're raising the cost, but they also have Mirage Comics stuff. So like they bought stock in Mirage Comics, so there's going to be a lot of off-kilter.
Get an Image. I want Image.
I'm not sure if they got Image. I know
no, but they should get Image. But if they get Image, I can have a Saga series, and I'll be happy.
True,
but Saga's pretty graphic.
Right.
Not like in terms of action, but in terms of like it has like some pornographic content in it.
Right.
Like there's a scene where you see like there's the characters in the comic who have like heads for televisions.
Right.
And or televisions for heads. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And
I understand what you said. Don't worry about it.
They'll scrutinize me for it. It's the internet. You know what happens.
Yeah, listen.
They'll make some sort of YouTube poop edit.
It is what it is.
But anyway, the
poop edit.
YouTube poop edit. No, but
that's what they should do.
But on one of the screens, it was like just a bukkake session going on it.
Oh my god! Yeah,
and
no, I don't want that.
And that was like I think issue 8, and like that was like I think taken off shelves because of it because it was like really graphic.
Yeah, that's not.
And it wasn't a centerpiece or anything like that. It was just one little frame, and then you cut to the next one.
Yeah, that's not going to be next to Boss Baby on Netflix.
Yeah. So I think that Boss Baby's coming to Netflix. I'm sorry.
Boss Baby has a show on Netflix.
Is it good?
I've never seen it.
I remember seeing the movie. I enjoyed it.
I've seen the movie. I like the movie, but there is a TV show for Boss Baby.
Has it been around for a while?
About a year or two.
That's why people are making fun of Boss Baby because I remember seeing a lot of like new hate about it, and I'm like, what's so bad about the movie?
Yeah, no, it has a show.
Wow. I learn something new every day.
Hey, DreamWorks has like a whole bunch of shows that they do on Netflix, like How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
Home is on there. There's a cartoon for Home. Where the girl, Rihanna was like the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like with an alien or something like that. It was their version of Lilo and Stitch. And there's a couple others that's just like that. It's
Yeah.
Netflix is trying to do so much stuff and nobody knows. Like they redid Inspector Gadget. They've done like so many different things like on the low, and you don't know because there's so much stuff out there.
It's so oversaturated. It's really hard to find things. And when I'm browsing Netflix, it's like I got to go out of my way and always research to see if the show's worth watching. Right. I'm investing time in it. It's getting to a point where if I'm watching these shows, I'm going to dedicate time to it. That's inevitably going to happen, right? So if I'm just sitting there and I'm watching the show, am I going to say, am I okay wasting a weekend watching this?
True.
Am I okay using this as background noise when I'm working on something for the office? Or if I'm editing.
Like this whole weekend, I'm devoting to The Punisher.
Yeah, it comes out on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, speculations.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I hear that it's supposed to take place in between Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of people like disappeared.
So it's canon.
It's canon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm excited because Jigsaw is coming.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got super excited. I'm still excited, but I got super excited because I thought of the guy from Saw for a second.
I mean, that's why his face is supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
But,
he wants to play a game. What can he tell you?
And he finally gets the skull on his.
Yeah, I saw that. The costume's finally there.
Mark, you gotta watch Punisher this weekend. I know you're gonna love it. I know you're gonna love it. And he listens to metal also. So you'll definitely love it.
Who knows? He might be slaying some evildoers who are not going to take it.
Oh, yeah. The double entendre.
No, but one thing I liked about the trailer is how they use Alice in Chains wood. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I didn't pay attention.
No, they used Wood by Alice in Chains, and I noticed the guitars like when they were doing that, and they deconstructed it. They got the stems. And I learned that from Mark about like the whole sending of the stems and everything.
Oh yeah, that's the new thing now.
Yeah,
the stems. Yeah,
they got the stems. They deconstructed it, and they kind of made it electronic a little bit.
Okay.
Like an industrial electronic.
Okay.
The way that I like it with my music. But when they were doing that, I'm like, wow, this doesn't make me hate the song. It's a really interesting take. They edited it to work for the trailer. And what's really cool about it is they use Lane Staley's voice for effect. Because Lane has a powerful voice for that stuff. But yeah, anyway, so the suit's coming in. I expect a lot more gore.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's like big with Punisher. It's very gory.
I hope it's much more focused.
Yeah.
Because the first season really kind of like deviated quite a bit with the filler. So I think once we see where they're deciding to go with that, and once you see where we're going with that, and it's just going to be more, hey, we're trying to tell a story instead of the gore, you know? Like, we understand that we want the Punisher to be campy.
Right.
But it's not like Halloween, you know?
It's not.
Halloween you don't really watch for the story. Like, you enjoy about Michael Myers, and stories kind of comes with it, but you watch it for more like the gory aspects of it. You watch it to kind of sit back with friends and just see Michael Myers admire that, hanging the dude on the wall and stabbing him.
Oh, God. I just want it to be just as great as the last season of Daredevil.
I want it, yeah. Yeah, but I think I want it to be. I think that we always get sequelitis with these things.
It's true,
and I think that it's really important for them to understand what made it good and what made it bad.
True.
So, anyway, it looks like we're kind of running out of time.
All right.
Any final thoughts for everything coming up?
I just can't wait for Punisher.
I'm excited for Punisher. We're going to be talking about that next week. I'm going to try my best to fit that into my busy schedule.
I'm finishing the whole thing.
Time for that. There's some obscure movies coming up that I wanted to talk about briefly in the future, like The Favorite. That was a really fun movie.
Okay.
That was a comfy movie. I want to see some stuff coming up. I got to see Glass. I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
Yeah, I want to see Glass.
So let's see Glass.
All right.
And yeah, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm Steve.
I'm Nigel.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at TheFully, TheFully. Also, website will be up end of this week.
Yeah, and you can find me, not an official comedian, just on Spotify and Tidal at Drakontas, Drakontas. My solo music is on there. Give it a listen. Let me know what you think. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. This is the Jump Cut.
Yeah,
and we'll be back next week.
All right.
Thanks so much.